And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live on this Monday. New week. Thanks for being with us. We are live again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street, right down the parking lot from Best Buy is where we are. Going to be joined by Bill Robinson, head men's basketball coach at Milligan University, coming up here in a few minutes. And we're going to be joined a little bit later on by Jeff Birchfield. Just finished up with the Thunder Valley Nationals drag races at Bristol Dragway. Can't remember the corporate name of it, but they, again, just finished things up. And so we'll get a report on that. Also, the NASCAR weekend where they went to Sonoma, California, and the race was won by Kyle Larson. So we'll take a look at that. We say good morning. Thanks for being with us. Lots going on. We'll take our first break for the national anthem. Come back, take a look at the super regionals of college baseball. The Tennessee Volunteers are in. They punched their ticket to Omaha, so here we go. After a decisive win over Evansville, and they put the hammer on them yesterday. Brought out the bats and 12-1 over Evansville on that third game of the three-game set, the best of three. Everybody's in except one to be decided. We'll tell you all about that. Who all's going, and one more super regional to be finished up today. We're going to be taking a look at Caitlin Clark. Yeah, I've heard about this all weekend long. Everybody. Going to watch the Olympic women's basketball? Not a chance. They made a PR snafu, to say the least. Whether she deserves to be there, well, she does deserve to be there. At least give her a chance. Anyway, we got the story. They had a tryout. Here's the thing. They kind of hold it against her. She had a tryout, or they had a tryout for the team, the Olympic team. She couldn't come. Now, why couldn't she come, you think? Oh, I don't know. It's Final Four weekend with the Iowa Lady Hawkeyes. So she couldn't make it to the Olympic tryout. So, sorry, you're not on the team. Okay. Do we make exceptions for people? You're asking Tom Taylor? You're talking the number one scorer in college basketball in the history of the college? Yeah. I'd give her a special tryout. I'd give her something. She's earned it. So, special privileges? Not necessarily, but it wasn't like she was at the lake fishing or on a vacation with her parents. She's in the Final Four. They said, well, that's when we had the tryouts and you couldn't get there. Sorry. It's a bunch of malarkey. So, anyway, we'll talk about that. We'll get Coach Robinson's take on that. As a coach, we are ready to go. National anthem time. Here we go. We got the verse today ready to roll out of the book of Psalms, and here we go. And we'll jump in and Loretta Bowers, front and center. Let it rip, lady. The national anthem on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Let's do the verse today. Hello, Travis Constable. How you doing, sir? Let's do the verse today. We're here on Mondays and Wednesdays. Tomorrow, we're going to be at Double C Western Supply Big Father's Day sale. It's Father's Day weekend coming up. It's going to get hot, too. It's going to be nice today in the mid-70s and tomorrow, but then come Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the way through the weekend. Upper 80s to low 90s. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So let's give you the verse today as soon as I hit the right buttons. And it's out of the book of Psalms. It's a good one. They're all good, but let's go right here. Hit that right there before we get into, there we go. Psalms 130, verse 5 says, I wait for the Lord. My soul waits, and in his word I put my hope. I wait for the Lord. My soul waits, and in his word I put my hope. Psalms 130, verse 5 on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, I was looking, waving. Hello. Got more and more folks up here from Elizabethton, so, which is understandable. Ours is closed August. So, anyway, let's take a look at what's happening in the world of sports. Let's start with the Super Regional. Tennessee clubbed Evansville yesterday, and that decisive game came out with the bats and showed them they're the number one team in the country for now. Hope it stays that way. Decisively ended Evansville's surprise run in the NCAA tournament Sunday. Florida outlasting Clemson in a wild 5-hour game. The Aggies of Texas A&M used a nine-run inning to pull away from Oregon and Kentucky. Both made program history. Kentucky with a win over Oregon State. 4 SEC schools heading off to the big dance. Tennessee 12-1 over Evansville. Michael Robertson, the number 9 hitter for Florida, sliced the ball into the left center field gap to bring home 2 in the 13th inning. 11-10 walk-off win. Florida has won 9 straight Super Regional games under Coach Kevin O'Sullivan, the longest streak by any team since 1999. That's an interesting stat. Tennessee and Florida into the big show for the second straight year. Texas A&M is for the second time in 3 years. Kentucky advances for the first time in school history, 3-2 win over Oregon State. Nolan McCarthy doubled for Kentucky and scored the go-ahead run from second base on a wild pitch in the 7th inning. How about that? Your season comes down to a wild pitch. Wow. Or one of the big plays in the game was a wild pitch. On Saturday, sweeps North Carolina, Florida State, and Virginia, sweeping their Super Regionals to lock up spots starting on Friday at the College World Series in Omaha. One spot remains, Georgia forcing a third and deciding game tonight against North Carolina State. They got beat. 17-run loss on Saturday. Came back and beat North Carolina State yesterday 11-2. So Georgia at a disadvantage. Whoever wins that game tonight, you start on Friday in Omaha, so you got 1 or actually 2 less days. If you swept it, you were done on Saturdays. You have Sunday and Monday to get ready. If you won yesterday like Tennessee and everybody else did, these other teams, you have an extra day. But if you're Georgia or North Carolina State, whoever wins that regional tonight, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're playing on Friday. You get 3 days rest, so disadvantage for sure. So, anyway, everybody's in. We've locked them all down except one. So it's Tennessee, Florida, Kentucky, North Carolina, Florida State, Virginia, North Carolina. Who am I leaving off? Leaving off somebody. Texas A&M. So that's where you are. And so it's wow. Tennessee's hit 26 home runs in 6 NCAA tournaments. 173 for the season. The record is LSU had 188 in 1997. So there you go. The Volunteers, 7 home runs were a Tennessee postseason single-game record. They were flying out of Lindsey Nelson. Wow. Christian Moore, 34th home run for Tennessee. Dean Curley and Dalton Bargo going back-to-back in the second. Bargo and Moore went deep again, and Billy Amick and Kyle Stark also homered. 7 home runs, Tennessee school record. Tennessee blows out Evansville decisively, leaving no doubt. Again, the Volunteers have hit 26 home runs in 6 NCAA tournament games. 173 for the season, second behind LSU's 188 in 1997. By the way, how about a sip of Chick-fil-A tea is good. Whew. Florida again, a 5-hour, 3-minute game. Alden Mathis hit the go-ahead home run at the top of the 13th. The Gators led 9-6 with 1 out of the 9th inning. And Clemson came to life. Great ball game. Of course, the Gators, the national runner-ups last year to LSU. So, again, Kentucky going for the first time in school history. So pretty exciting stuff. So you have, let's jot them down here. You have, let's put this over here. You have UT, Florida, A&M, Kentucky, Georgia to be decided. You have UNC, Florida State. You have Virginia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that's it. So Tennessee, Florida, Texas A&M, Kentucky, Georgia, or North Carolina State, depending on what happens tonight. Hello, Eugene Jeffers. How you doing, sir? In the ACC, North Carolina, Florida State, and Virginia. 8 teams going to Omaha, double elimination. Who comes out with a W? I know who I want to win, so that would be the boys down in. Tell you what, they decided to play ball yet? Well, not that they have been. That's not fair to say. Let me retract that. They didn't decide to play ball. When they came out swinging the sticks, boom, 7 home runs, blew out Evansville. Number 1 seed heading off to Omaha. Pretty exciting stuff for the Tennessee Volunteers. By the way, let me say this. They have every year the team camps down in Knoxville, Thompson Bowling Arena, and also the Pratt, I think it's called the Pratt Center, the practice facilities for the guys and girls. Anyway, they opened them up to have a team camp. And so teams from all over the area. I mean, Elizabeth, and I was there watching mine play Saturday, and they played Fort Chiswell. They played East Hamilton out of Chattanooga, and a third team, and I never caught where they were from. What a cool thing. You got to practice and play, not play, but I mean practice, but play in the practice gym, if you will, for the lady balls. You get the chance to play in the practice gym for the guys. And then you get that last game. I think they played a couple of games on the big floor. They played it on the big floor at the Food City Center, Thompson Bowling Arena, where the big guys and the big girls play. I mean, what a thrill. These girls are over the top excited. And they should be. What a thrill. What an honor. I mean, how many places let that happen? I don't know. Didn't when I played, I can tell you that. We did good just getting our own high school gym in the summertime to play. But kudos to the University of Tennessee, the athletic department. Ran into my buddy Bryce Van Huss, was down there, the basketball manager. He's back on the job after being off a couple of weeks. Anyway, I just want to say thanks to the University of Tennessee and the athletic department to allow all these teams, including Elizabethton, to go down and play. They played like the varsity played 3, the junior varsity played 3, so it's not just one game. They play a lot of basketball down there, and it's going to make you better. But again, from a thrill standpoint, to be able to play 15, 16, 17-year-old girls playing on the floor where the Tennessee Lady Vols play and the Tennessee men's team play in the big arena was really cool. So anyway, I just want to say thanks to the University of Tennessee for allowing that to happen. It's really cool. All right, NBA Finals, Celtics 105-98. They're up 2-0. They head back to Dallas now for games 3 and 4. Told you at the start of this last week, the key to this whole tournament finals, in my opinion, will be and is one Kyrie Irving, who's not living up to projections, struggled last night. So Luka Doncic has said it's his fault because he missed free throws, and he had some turnovers, had 8 turnovers and 4 missed free throws. I don't think you can pin it on him, what he's done with his team up to this point. But Kyrie Irving did not get it done last night, struggled again. So Irving was more or less shut down for the second straight game. So Luka Doncic had 4 threes. The rest of the Mavericks combined for 2 for 17. Now, it may change when they get home. Games 3 and 4 coming up this week in Dallas. So, but the guy had a triple-double. Doncic had a 32 points, 11 rebound, 11 assist night. And he's taking the blame for the loss. That's a pretty class act. But anyway, so the Mavericks are down 2-0 NBA Finals. The Boston Celtics. Next game comes up later this week, and I'll let you know where that is as soon as I find the piece of paper it's on. We'll take a quick break. We'll save the Caitlin Clark story for Coach Robinson. Are you kidding me? Here's the best part of the whole thing. I'm going to get on the soapbox. They said you can try out for the Olympics, but the weekend they had the tryouts, Caitlin couldn't be there, so you weren't here. So you can't try out. You know where she was at? She's playing in the Final Four with her college team. Now, come on. So I'm sorry you weren't there for the tryout. We can't let you try out. We can't let you on the team. What a bunch of garbage. You talking about jealousy and being petty? We'll see what Coach thinks. Do we make exceptions for her? She's the all-time leading scorer in college basketball. Do you at least give her a special workout? Does she not merit that? It's a PR nightmare. I can tell you what's going to happen because I've already, just to church history, just to my travels, people said, we ain't going to watch it. They're not going to let her be on the team. Doesn't she have to start? I think she at least earns a chance to try out for the team. Would you not think? The all-time leading scorer in the history of college basketball, and you don't even get a chance to try out because the weekend of the tryouts you were playing for a national championship? That's petty, folks. That is petty, petty, petty. Anyway, quick break. The man, the myth, the legend's in the house. Coach Bill Robinson, Milligan University men's basketball coach, next on the Tom Taylor Sports. The Eagles Center, downtown Elizabeth. What's it all about, ma'am?
Well, thank you, Tom. It's a great place to shop. We have a little bit of everything. We like to use the quote, things tell a story when people no longer can.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a building full of things that are reminders of our past, good conversation pieces, things that add character to your home, collectibles, home decor, furniture, vinyls, coins, just a little bit of everything.
2 floors. How many vendors?
We have over 50 vendors.
Over
We have
50 vendors.
Downstairs and a main floor.
Lots and lots of things in here. Something for everybody, for kids, for men, for ladies. Going back, antiques is what it's all about. So period costumes, period clothing, period jewelry, furniture, glassware. It's all right here. Hours are open.
We're open 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday, closed on Sunday.
Social media, how to find you?
And we're on Facebook at Eagle Center Co-op, and then we have an Instagram that's Eagle Center Antiques.
Yep. And the phone number is?
It's 542-5547.
Last thing, what separates the Eagle Center from all the other antique stores in the Tri-Cities?
Well, I think it's probably the vendors. We just have really good vendors who bring in really quality things, and they change up all the time. They're in and out every week, bringing new things, and they're really good about keeping their booths clean and neat, and the things are displayed easily so you can see them. And we just have a lot of unique, unusual things.
And the slogan is?
Things tell a story when people no longer can.
There you go. The Eagle Center, downtown Elizabethton, proud sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Elizabethton Cyclone Sports.
The greatest labor-saving device of the 21st century is here. It's the revolutionary grocery delivery service from Food City, powered by Instacart. It's perfect for busy professionals, moms on the go, or anyone looking to have more free time. Just shop online for the same fresh meat, farm fresh produce, and all your grocery needs delivered straight to your door. Visit foodcitydelivers.com.
I got on Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hello. Thank you for being with us. And look who stopped by. Our buddy, our head coach of the Milligan men's team. We're going to be doing a lot of basketball this year for the Buffs. Looking forward to that. Or more, anyway, the ones that don't fall on Wednesdays on church night. And by the way, that's not their call. People say, why would Milligan play on Wednesdays as a church school? Because that's the conference schedule, right?
Exactly.
You have no control over that at all. So anyway, but they play on other nights, and the nights they are there, we're going to be there, particularly on Saturday afternoons. I don't think there's a better venue, cooler thing to do on a Saturday than to hang out at Steve Lacey Fieldhouse.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
It is. It really is. So, and they're doing some really cool things over there to add fan interest. And so the gym itself is really, really cool. Any more cosmetic changes? I know last year you did a bunch. Anything going on this year?
Nothing major, just little things here and there. But, yeah, it looks pretty good the way it is right now.
Absolutely. I knew you guys were working on the locker rooms at one point.
Yep.
You got those done?
Yeah, done. We just, again, a little touch-up things here and there, but some pictures of the guys we're going to put up this year. But everything else looks pretty good.
Yep. Well, NBA Finals. Dallas down 2-0. Going back to Dallas now. Celtics have dominated. Only won by 7 last night, but I think the score was a little bit more dominating than it said. Kyrie Irving not really playing up to Kyrie's potential. I said last Wednesday, my buddy was on there. He said, "What's going to be the key?" I think it's going to be key to Kyrie. How he goes, he'll go. And then Doncic, is that how you say it? Luka Doncic?
Yeah, Doncic.
Doncic?
Yeah.
He had a triple-double last night. It's my fault. He had 32 points, 11 boards, 11 assists. And I didn't do enough to help us win. Team shot, besides him, they shot 2 for 17 for 3-point.
Yeah.
You ain't going to beat anybody doing that,
No,
are you?
definitely not.
No. So what's your take?
Yeah.
They got any gas, or is this the Celtics?
Yeah, I did my internship with the Mavericks when Jason was playing, so I'm a Mavericks fan because of that. I was only there for a month, but it still kind of gets in your soul. And I grew up a Sixers fan, so I always hated the Celtics. So I'm hoping that the Mavericks can make a little run here. I think it is, part of it is they took care of their business at home. They had home court advantage. They won their 2 games. I thought the Mavericks really maybe outplayed them, out-rebounded them last night, did some really good things. They need somebody other than Luka to step up and make contribute, whether it's Washington or whether it's, Max Kleber was not good. They need somebody to step up and be that third guy. And last night, the second guy wasn't very good, and Kyrie was not very good. So I think it is different at home. I think they'll at least. I think they're going to win Game 3. I don't think it's probably go more than 6 games though.
Celtics in the driver's seat right now?
Definitely.
Yeah. So you're a 76ers guy. Who's your all-time favorite 76er?
I think it would surprise people. Mo Cheeks was my guy.
Oh, really?
Because I couldn't be Dr. J. I couldn't be Daryl Dawkins. Physically, I was built more like Mo Cheeks, so that's who I wanted to be. I wanted to be Mo Cheeks.
You know, the guy I like, because I didn't like the 76ers. I'm a Celtics guy.
Yeah.
I'm a Bird guy. So is that bad? You will get up and walk off?
Not at all. We can always agree to disagree about those things.
That's true.
As long as we agree on the big things, and we do. So that's
We
all
do.
that really matters.
We knew, absolutely. So the guy I always liked, I like Julius. I like Dr. J.
Sure.
I like Bobby Jones. I always thought he was.
He's a Carolina guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm a
yeah.
Carolina guy.
Yep.
I like the Tar Heels, but he could play defense too.
I love Bobby Jones.
Yeah. So he's still with us, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw where Chet Walker passed away over the weekend,
Yeah, it's
84.
sad. Yeah.
So, all right. Before we get into Milligan basketball, oh, by the way, I want to show, I gave these to him because I'm a big fan of this man. We had these made, and so Milligan. Oh, that was really cool. Taz made these for me. Milligan Buffaloes, Tom Taylor Sports right there in the middle, the state of Tennessee. That was very well done, Taz. Great job, sir. Got the buffs on it. You drink coffee, I hope?
A tea.
Tea?
Yeah.
All right. We drink.
Had some tea last night.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Mrs. Robinson,
She drinks coffee.
there you go.
Yeah, she'll definitely
There's
use
one for
it.
you and one for her.
Yep.
Why? Because I believe in him. So, hello, Joe Lane. Hello to Francis Russell. Hello to Cody Taylor. Hello to Eugene Jeffers. We're live. This is our new home to the end of August. Chick-fil-A in Johnson City, Mondays and Wednesdays till the Elizabeth store opens back up. I see more and more Elizabeth people coming over to get their Chick-fil-A fix.
It's true.
They got to do it.
Missing it right now.
Yeah, amen. So, all right, Caitlin Clark. the Olympic tryouts. They named the Olympic team over the weekend. She's not on it. They said she's just not going to be on the team. So, okay, she's the all-time leading scorer. Well, I'll be quiet. What's your take on this?
I think it's political more than anything else. I think there is some jealousy there. There's also, I think there's a contingent out there that says that she's just not complete enough of a player defensively, that she's a great scorer. But at the same time, if I'm a coach, I want somebody who can shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd bring her on the team and put her in situations where she can be successful and don't put her in situations where she's not. But I do think it's political. I think the fact that she didn't get a tryout, or they had to try out during the Final Four, it doesn't make any sense. Why would they do it then? It almost seems like they just set her up for failure. But her response was really good. She just said, I think it awoken the monster inside of her. She's just going to take it and motivate herself and maybe become a better player. So I think she handled it really well. I don't think the Olympic team handled it very well.
No. Level of talent and experience, no players are younger than 26. Age makes no difference. If you can play. She's averaging 16 already in the WNBA. She's been out there, 10, 12, 14, I don't know what the record is, but she's been out there, let's say, I'm going to guess right around 20 games, give or take, and I don't know, I don't have it in front of me, but she's averaging 16. She had 30 over the weekend, but she's the all-time leading scorer in the history of college basketball. Would you not, does she make the team? I don't know, but do you give her a shot? You don't tell her, sorry, the tryouts in the Final Four weekend, you couldn't be here, so you don't get a chance to try out.
No, that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
No.
You have to at least give her a shot.
Well, from a PR standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, if you're the Olympic team, I put her on the team. Look what she's done for the WNBA. Look what she did for college basketball. You put her on the bench. Even if she doesn't play, at least you're going to watch, hoping she might play. I'm going to tune in and see if Caitlin gets a chance to play. She's not even going to be. But here's the little, I read this too. Here's the asterisk about this whole thing. The official roster is not going to be, the official roster announcement is not expected until tomorrow. So I guess there's still a chance they can wiggle around and go, whoops, we think we're going to put her on. Because I've had a lot of people tell me yesterday at the restaurant after church that I ain't watching it. We're not going to watch it. So I'm thinking, you guys have shot yourself in the foot. Put her on the team.
She's the most popular women's basketball player in the world right now. You would think, just from that alone, that would give her a spot on the team. But
Jealousy.
Yeah.
Petty. She's averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists a game. On pace to become the 5th player in league history to put up a 15-5-5 season, which is way down the line. It's too early to tell that. But so then they say she leads the league in turnovers at 6 turnovers a game. Does that bother you as a coach?
It bothers me that the number's that high, but it doesn't. I mean, she has the ball in her hands a bunch, and she's a rookie. So that number will go down. That number will cut in half next year.
Yeah. So what did she say? Let me read her quote. So, do you have it? Let's see. It's right here. Here it is. I think it just gives you something to work for. It's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there. I think it's just a little more motivation. You remember that, and hopefully in 4 years I can be there. That's her response. That's how classy she is. So, let's see. They won't play again. Okay, once they wrap up the pre-Olympic schedule, July 17th, Indiana won't play again until August 16th. So I'm looking forward to the break. So I want to kind of get away from basketball and the craziness. Everything's been going on. Just find some peace and quiet for myself. That's what she's saying, Caitlin Clark. So I still say they're going to put her. Well, okay, here's Chelsea Gray. They put her on the team. She's been out for 8 months. She's not going to be back. So why would you put her on the team? She's not going to play. I mean, it's a setup. It just reeks and oozes with jealousy all the way across, which makes no sense. As I said last week, tell me if I'm wrong. If you get, all right, let's say Appalachian Athletic Conference, pick somebody, I don't know, Dr. J's kids in the league now.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, we get notoriety that we've never gotten on the national scope because Julius Erving's son's in the league, or pick somebody, I don't know, Shaquille O'Neal's kids in the league. So all of a sudden we get some attention that the AAC and Milligan and Tennessee Wesleyan has never got nationally. So why would you not ride the rails and take that? I would.
You would think so. Michael Vick's daughter actually plays flag football at Reinhardt.
Okay.
So there's a good situation. Obviously, they're going to promote that as much as possible to promote a new sport and obviously promote a name to get some, notoriety to the school and to the new sport. So it just makes sense.
Yeah. Well, as I've said repeatedly on the show, the WNBA appropriated for the first time ever $25 million to have the ladies now fly charter flights to just get in there and go with everybody else. So they obviously see there's an uptick. Gino got him a pretty good contract extension, didn't he, for UConn?
Sure did.
Yeah, but based on the success he's had and the success of college basketball, the numbers are up, TV viewership's up. A year ago, I never talked about the WNBA a year ago. Never saw them on TV. It's all because of Caitlin Clark. So why would you not put her on the team? But again, the asterisk beside it is they have until tomorrow to make the official final roster. You think they'll change it?
I don't.
You don't?
No, I think they've made such a big statement initially that I don't think the latter.
PR nightmare.
Yep.
Because I guarantee you, Tom, you're going to watch the Olympics? Not a chance would I watch it now. Not a chance. Well, you don't like the rest of the girls on the team? Got nothing to do with that. Deanna Taurasi, is she the best ever? One of the best? Taurasi?
Top 5 for sure.
Top 5. She's on the team. Trying to win her, I think, 6th gold medal, which is unprecedented, or be a part of a 6th gold medal. So Anna Siebert says, hey, Coach. Hey, Tom. Hey, Anna. How you doing? But I'm not watching. Not a chance. What's going on in Milligan basketball right now? Let's talk about the camp. You got a couple more
we
sessions?
had a really good camp. The first session with over 100 kids, and got over 100 signed up for the second week and about 85 for the third week. So numbers are good, and really looking forward. We had a great week. We just no issues. I mean, literally no issues, which is wonderful. The kids came to learn. We had a really good time, and the weather was great. So it turned out to be just a really wonderful week.
So when's your next two sessions? Let's get some kids in there.
Yeah, July 8th through the 12th and July 22nd through the 26th are our next two sessions. Take June and basically hit the road. I leave Sunday for Carolina camp and do 2 weeks down there, and then get a week of vacation before we get back to get ready around July 4th to get ready for that next camp. So, 2 weeks in July, it's going to be a great time.
So you're one of the counselors, one of the coaches, not counselor, but coaches of the Carolina camp.
Yeah, been doing
That's
it. This
awesome.
will be 21 years, and been a great time. So,
Yeah. Am I dreaming? You told me you're writing a book.
I am.
Yeah.
I actually sent the first 7 chapters to the publisher last week. Worked on chapter 8 this morning. So I'm hoping to have everything in, obviously, before the weekend, before I go down there. But got 2 more interviews I need to do. Coach Williams and Hubert. Hubert's agreed to meet with me when I go down. And just any time trying to get Coach Williams, his time is just so valuable. It's been hard, but I'm going to send him a text today and see if he'll meet. Well, going to be there for 11 days. Certainly, you can find 30 minutes, I hope, while I'm down there to meet with him too.
Do you have a title of the book yet?
UNC, it's basically Carolina Basketball School, which is what the original name was. The history, stories, and drills of
About the
Carolina
camp.
About Carolina camp.
Ooh.
Basically, the idea is if you were to sit down at lunch at camp, these are the type of stories that you would hear from coaches and counselors and kids about the experiences that we had. It's pretty fun.
You got some how-tos in there too. How to?
Yeah, we got some drills in there
Drills?
at the end. We get a drill at the end of each chapter to kind of talk about a little bit, so in case you have a coach that's interested in what the drills they would do during camp. That's just a little bit interesting at the end of each chapter.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it'll be fun.
When does it due to be out, yo?
I'm hoping within the next 3 months. I would like to have it done before the kids come back in August, so I can just focus on the guys when they come back.
Just in time for Christmas too, right?
Yep,
Be
exactly.
a good time to have one under the tree, a Christmas present. So that's awesome. Well, you know what the price is going to be. You set the price. yet?
Don't. It's really up
Too
to the
early?
publisher's hands
Yeah.
what they want to do with it. So
That's awesome. It's
Yeah.
going to be called Carolina.
it's going to be Carolina Basketball School. The history and drills and stories. Basically, that's what it's about.
Yep.
So Carolina camp's just different. You just never know who you're going to see or who you're going to run into. And
It's like a who's who.
yeah, I'd run into Joe Montana when he had his kids there, and Bob McAdoo, one of the greatest players of all time, was just at the coaches' party behind me in line at the buffet. And hey Bob, and you just never know who you're going to see. So it's just it's a really cool experience.
So who would stop you? If you turn around and saw a blank person, you would go, you drop your plate of food. Who would it be?
And Michael's the only one I haven't met. His kids were in camp, and I knew I was in one gym, and his kids were in the next gym. I knew he was across the wall, but I never did get to see him. He's the one guy that I think would just catch me and just stop me.
Yeah. Dead in your track.
Yeah, he really would.
Understandably so.
Yep.
But I keep hearing LeBron's better than him.
That's a whole debate that we can't get into today, I don't think.
There's no debate.
No, there's not.
There is no debate. No. The man is he's the GOAT of all. He's the GOAT, isn't he?
He is.
Michael?
Yep.
There you go. Plain and simple. End of story. In my humble opinion, yours too. Hello to Jordan Simmons. Hello to Connie Elms. Thank you, Connie, again for that Charles Stanley book. Hello, David Lacey. We're live here again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street. That's the one we come to every time. It's right down from Best Buy, right down the parking lot from Best Buy. So it's rocking. So we'll be here every Monday and Wednesday until the new one, or the Elizabeth store, the new Elizabeth store, for all intents and purposes, will reopen late August, early September. And what's your daughter doing these days? Is she Chick-fil-A?
She's playing a lot of volleyball.
Oh, okay.
So she's in management, so they are paying her a percentage of what she was making. But she's been able to do some stuff on the side, but
Sure.
also playing a lot of volleyball.
So if you want to go to the Milligan camp, I will guarantee, I will go ahead and endorse it wholeheartedly. I had 3 there. Yeah, Cassidy, Sam, and London. Had 3 of them there over the past 18, 20 years. Not that long. How long have you been doing
15.
it? 15?
Yeah.
I've had one there every year except this year. And London can't this year because she's on the basketball team, in large part because of him and the coaches and the skills she learned at the Milligan basketball camp. So I'm endorsing it, always do. Number one, it's built in around faith. He has a devotion every day. The kids have fun, but they don't go nuts. It's a controlled environment. They eat at the
Cafeteria, they love the
cafeteria.
cafeteria, all the pizza and ice cream they can eat. So they love it.
Absolutely. They eat where the college kids eat. It's a really cool camp. And so then in the afternoon, you still have the free time in the afternoon?
Yep. They either get a jump in the pool for the last hour, or they get a chance to just shoot around the gym for the last hour. So
Yep.
whichever they want to do.
What's going on in recruiting right now?
Still waiting on that one. He hopefully hopefully visit this week. But if he comes, we'll be done and be pretty good. We're going to be pretty talented.
Yeah. He's biggin' too, ain't he?
He's about 7 foot, so
Yeah, biggin'.
that'd be a big one.
Yeah. So you're still in the hunt for him, right?
Yep, you are. We're down to final 3, and number 2 doesn't mean anything. You got to be number 1 in situations like that. So, yeah, we're hopeful.
Absolutely, we're hopeful. So, anyway, if you're interested, you are welcome to get on that camp. How do we do that? How do we get signed up for camp?
The website is www.milliganbuffs.com, Buffs as in Buffaloes. And go to Inside Athletics. There's a link there that says camp. Just click on that and then click on the basketball camp, and then you register right there.
So I'm curious. You've seen Bob McAdoo, seen Joe Montana. Throw out some more names. Who have you run across over the years?
Well, Larry Brown, of course, all the Carolina guys. You get to see a lot of worked with Tyler Hansborough, and Sean May, of course, is on staff now. Just Denzel Washington's son.
Oh, really?
Jerry Stackhouse's son has been in. Chris Paul's son, Chris Paul Jr., was in my gym last year. Very similar to Chris Paul. Really good player, just kind of small. But he's got all the little, intangibles, and he's going to be a really good player. So it's fun to see him, running around the gym. And then that Sunday night, he was on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Chris was, at the Dodgers game, and there's Chris Paul Jr. with him. He'd just been in camp, 3 days before. So you just never know. Never know.
So how many years you been doing the coaches? Been a coach?
This is 21 years. This summer will be
21 years.
Yeah.
Now, what an honor. Think of all the coaches in America. How many coaches are on the staff?
About 65, 70.
Yeah.
Yes.
But still, 65 or 70 of all the coaches in America. Bill Robbins was on the staff of the North Carolina Tar Heel basketball camp for 21 years. Must be doing something right. What station do you teach the same thing every year?
I am kind of the utility guy. They put me wherever they need me. I can, do it. But I have been able to run the main gym a few times, which is a really cool honor. That's how the book got started, was being the gym head and looking around. I had Hubert Davis was working in my gym. I was telling him what, 2 minutes left to go in the station, and he, and I had, Kendall Marshall, and those guys were working for me, which was kind of cool. But I've always been willing to go wherever they want me to go.
Oh,
and
sure.
I've told them if they need me in the cafeteria, they felt like I was best served as working in the cafeteria, that's where I'd work. So, and it's worked out really well for me.
Yep. That's awesome. One more time, how do we get signed up for your camp?
MilliganBuffs.com. And just go to Inside Athletics and click on the camp link.
Yeah. So your kids won't come be at a camp where the head man goes and works the Carolina basketball camp for 21 years every year. Pretty good, pretty good one to learn from. So what's really neat, you've told me this before, you can go back over, how many years you had to camp in Milligan?
It's
15?
Just be 15, yeah.
So you've seen kids come up through to playing now in college, or certainly high school, college. I don't know if anybody's made it to the pros yet from your camp, but
Not the pros, but we've had guys that have come through, and then we offered another one this year. Luke Lohoff is a kid who came through camp, and now he's going to be playing JV for us next year. We've done that, 10 or 12 times in the last few years, just bringing in a lot of kids that, and we've got a group next year is going to be a big group. We're going to offer 4 kids that have been in camp or going to be in camp this summer. We're going to offer them JV spots 2025. So
that's awesome.
yeah, it's really cool. We love having kids who love Milligan.
So absolutely. So on Friday night, you go out to watch the game and scout and recruit and go, he was at camp.
Yeah.
She was at camp.
Yeah.
He was at camp.
Yeah.
That's all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. Love you, man.
Yeah, I love you too.
Thank you. Can't wait to get a copy of the book. We want to push that book on this show right here. I can tell you that. That's good stuff. We'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this from Carter County Bank. Show number 2088. They said it wouldn't work here on the Tom Daly Sports Show.
At Carter County Bank, it's our job to help you focus on the happy moments and check off the things on your to-do list to make them happen. We're here along the way so you can pull off the happiest moments in life. Carter County Bank, in the business of happiness.
On Cyclone Football on the Tom Daly Sports Show. Tell me about Duck Crossing. What's going on right now? What's it all about?
We are all ready for fall and the cooler temperatures and the prettier, I think, decor. I love the fall colors, the oranges and the greens, and we've got vintage clothes and costumes, and we've even got some Cyclone vintage gear too. Everybody has the scarecrows downtown. We have Tuffy. Mm-hmm. The Cyclone is our scarecrow, and he turned out really cool. We have all kinds of. I brought some cans. I know that's kind of a silly thing, but it's orange and black, and it's just fun to decorate. Inside or out, with just some vintage, old, rusty. What's more fall than the color of rust?
Mm-hmm. Hours are open.
We're open Monday through Friday, 11 to 5:30, and then Saturdays, 10 to 6.
And how do we find you on social media?
We're on Facebook. We're Duck Crossing Elizabethton, and Instagram we are Duck Crossing Antiques, and TikTok we're something.
There you go.
You can find the link on Facebook and Instagram.
And the phone number is
518-1858.
Yep. One of our great sponsors, Falls in the Air in downtown Elizabeth and Duck Crossing, one of our great sponsors here on Cyclone Football and the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
It's important to hire a professional because you want a quality, trained, and licensed person working in your home. All of my staff are factory trained and have years of experience. With today's technology in heating and air conditioning systems, you want a trained professional working on your system. Our motivation to provide our customers with the best service is years of experience. We've been in business for 35 years and we plan on being in business for another 35 years, so we want to make our customers happy.
It's lunchtime at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City, and that's all you need to say. It's rocking. We love it. We're right here in People Street. That's when we come to. And so right down the parking lot from Best Buy, and it is hopping. We love it, love it, love it. But they get you in, get you out, get you on your way pretty quick. They do, they do. So let's take a look at this Caitlin Clark story. I'm not going to dwell on this thing the whole show, but it makes absolutely no sense. It is very much a stacked deck against her. I don't care what you say. Tom, you're just a groupie for Caitlin Clark. No, not really. I'm not. I respect her tremendously for what she's done. She's the all-time leading scorer, college basketball. She deserves a shot to at least try out for the team. Now, whether she makes it, that's on her. Why would she not make it? But they're not even. They're up to this point. They have not given her a chance. But again, they've come out now and said the official roster will not be announced until tomorrow. So there may be a chance. Coach Robinson says he doesn't think they will put her on the team. But they had tryouts during the Final Four, and so you weren't here for the tryouts. Sorry, you can't try out for the team. That is a crock. You know that, and I know that. So Clark was invited to the most recent training camp in April, which would have been her first experience with the senior national team, was unable to participate due to the Final Four. She was invited, couldn't make it. She was playing for a national championship with her team, the Iowa Lady Hawkeyes. So even so, she's given herself a real chance to make the team. She's averaging, She's averaging 7. There's an Elizabethton person. They're all over the place over here. She's averaging 17 points a game now, 5 rebounds and 6 assists. Yep, she's leading the league in turnovers with 6 a game. Okay, but said she got a phone call. Said, you're not on the team, didn't make the team, sorry. So anyway, she says, this is Caitlin Clark's response. Did she cry, whine, moan like a lot of these athletes do? No. Is that why I like her? Yes. She accepted her fate and trucked on. Still wrong. She says, quote, to be on the Olympic team, I think it gives you something to work for. It's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there, and I think it's just a little more motivation. You remember that. And hopefully in 4 years I can be there in the 2028 team. So anyway, from a marketing standpoint and a PR standpoint, it is the stupidest thing they could possibly have done to keep her off that team. You put her on the team. She doesn't play, she doesn't play. I mean, I get that. She is a rookie. There's some very talented women playing college or playing professional basketball. I get that too. The WNBA is loaded with talent. A whole lot more than Caitlin Clark. She's one player. But if you want people to watch your product, in this case, women's Olympic basketball, which is not exactly a hotbed of viewership, if the numbers will show that for sure over the years. When was the last time you watched a women's Olympic basketball game? So what would you do if she had a chance to be on the team? You put her on the team. If she plays, she plays. She don't, she doesn't. But she's on the team. So what's Tom going to do in East Tennessee? I'm going to watch the games if she gets in. Absolutely. And in the meantime, we get to see all these other girls or women that play the game, and they're very good. Am I diminishing the talent of the WNBA? Absolutely not. What I'm telling you is, from a marketing standpoint, you put her on the team, and you watch the ratings go to the ceiling. Hopefully they'll be smart and do that. If they don't, they're really, really missing the boat, and I'll just tell you they're dumb. So, and I'm allowed to say it, they're going to be very dumb in their marketing decision not to put her on the team. As I said yesterday, my travels after church at the local restaurant in Elizabethton, ran into 2 or 3 people. What do you think about Caitlin Clark, Tom? I don't know. What do you think? Oh, I ain't watching it. She ain't on the team. I ain't watching it. They should have put her on the team. She deserves to be on the team. I heard it over and over and over, and I'm not going to watch it. I'm basing all I'm telling you on about 10 or 12 people. But that may be the prevailing response. People I was around, I mean, they told me. I didn't ask them, what do you think? Oh, I'm not going to watch it. She should be on the team. And whether she plays or not, it's a whole different story. But she should be on the team, and I agree. So, or at the minimum, let her have a tryout. Has she not earned that? Well, your special preferential treatment? Not really. She's the all-time leading scorer in college in basketball. So she earns a tryout. A Final Four weekend when she couldn't try out for the team, they said, sorry, that's a bunch of malarkey. So that's just pure, we don't want you on the team. We're going to set you up. Sorry. That would be like right now. They called me and said, you got a chance to do the Lady Vols play-by-play next year. But you got to be there right now. You got to be there at 1 o'clock today. It's the only time you can do it. You can try out for the Lady Vols, however you do it, the broadcast, the play-by-play. But you got to be there by 2 o'clock today. Well, I'm on the air to 1 here. Can't hardly get to Knoxville by 2 o'clock. Sorry. That's how crazy this is. And it's probably a flim-flam example, but that's kind of what they did to her. So, anyway. If they come to their senses, they'll put her on the team tomorrow. Will she play? She has to earn that. You don't walk out and play. Man, I totally get that. She doesn't earn the right to be a starter. I mean, she doesn't get the right. She has to earn it. But she has earned the right to be on the team. No question. And she has very much at the minimum, earned the right to try out for the team, to get a tryout. The all-time leading scorer in college basketball, that's like doing a tryout for Michael Jordan. Said, you were at Carolina camp last week in Chapel Hill with your kid. I'm sorry, we'd try out. You weren't here. You can't go. Steph Curry, you can't be on the Olympic team because you weren't where you're supposed to be for a tryout. It's crazy. So, and it wouldn't happen to anybody else, I can tell you. They would not leave Michael Jordan or LeBron James or any of those guys off the NBA team. Off the Olympic team. But anyway, they did her. So Connie said she had a very mature response. She did. She needs to be on the team. She does. So, but we'll see. All this may be for naught. They may say, we thought through this and we think we're going to put her on the team now. Well, there you go. Hey, we're live again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City, Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're going to do more and talk about Caitlin Clark, but she's earned it. She is the all-time leading scorer. She earns a spot on the team and certainly at the minimum a chance to try out for the Olympic team to represent the United States of America as the all-time leading scorer in basketball. Pitiful, pitiful, pitiful. Quick break. What's up next? We've got, Florida State making news. We'll tell you all about that. The Seminoles may be leaving the ACC after all. Kind of thought they would. We'll tell you all about that and some college football next. Coming up bottom of the hour, Jeff Birchfield joins us live. He'll be here to talk about what happened over the weekend at Bristol Dragway. The NASCAR race, Kyle Larson wins it. The road course at Sonoma. Had some fireworks out there for that race. And the pressure's on even more now. Some of the guys that aren't ready to go into the playoffs because I know it's just June. Each week's getting a little closer to the playoffs. So he'll tell us all about that and more. By the way, kickoff for high school football, if you care, and we do. 74 days till kickoff. How about that? High school football in 74 days here in Northeast Tennessee. The owner of Lingerfield Drug Center. We've got some good things going on. The obvious, let's start with kids' allergies. What's going on with that?
On that, a lot of parents, especially first-time parents, when their kids start having allergies, this year seems like it's been extra bad. Pollen everywhere, but parents kind of worry. They're not exactly sure what's best for their kid. And, with allergy, there is lots of different options you can take. And that's where I think, if you go into Walmart or a big chain pharmacy, you got to just try and figure it out on your own kind of. But here we have a lot of people will come in and ask, and we can talk to them and figure out, do they have different allergies. We can get you dye-free stuff, liquid, chewable tablets, plain tablets, drowsy or non-drowsy. There's a lot of different options, but these right here is ones we've been selling quite a bit of. The Benadryl's a good option. That one is dye-free, so that's good for kids with food allergies. And these liquids, too, are weight-based, and that's where you can calculate it yourself, or we'll do it for you and make it a little bit easier on you.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. All right. Here's the Foster and Thrive children's allergy.
Mm-hmm. And that one is Claritin, so that's a real popular one. And that one's non-drowsy, so that'd be good for kids to take of the morning.
Yep. Oh, boy, $9.59. Not exactly going to bust the billfold. And
Not too bad.
Here's one, too, the children's that goes for $9.59. So there you go.
And that one's generic Zyrtec. That's probably our biggest one. And what a lot of people don't realize, too, is stuff like this, depending on insurance, sometimes insurances will pay for stuff like this. And that's where, big chains, you just go to check out and be out the door. But here we can try, and if insurance will pay, it's better for them to pay than the parents.
Absolutely. And here's one more to show you. This is children's for Foster and Thrive. These are 30 chewable tablets, grape flavored.
And those are not too bad. Some kids don't like the liquids and not quite old enough to swallow pills yet, but chewable tablets are a good option for them.
Hours are open?
Here Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturdays, 9 to 12.
On social media, how do we find you?
We're on Facebook as Lingerfield Drug Center.
Here's one more to show you. Children's chewables, 24 chewable tablets for $6.49.
And this one here is generic Tylenol. That's something else a lot of kids this time of year be playing outside and get hurt, twist an ankle or something like that, and parents are nervous about giving medicines like that to their children, but children's Tylenol is a good option. So that's handy stuff to have around the house this time of year, I think.
Phone number is?
It's 423-542-2138.
Children's allergies. They got you covered. Lingerfield Drug Center, one of our proud sponsors of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on a Monday, June the 10th. All right, Florida State, here we go. The Seminoles are leaving the ACC, I guarantee it. You can mark it down. Well, Tom, that's not an earth-shattering statement. No, it's not. That's where we're headed, and here's why. Here's the latest story. The Florida State sued the ACC last December. Clemson followed with his own suit in March. The ACC has since countersued. There also is a suit out there by the Florida State Attorney General aiming to make the ESPN media rights deal with the ACC conference a public, which has been private at this point, and they're trying to get that to go public so everybody can see. Now, check this out. This is what it's going to take. Both Florida State and Clemson believe they're worth more than $41 million in media rights. Media rights revenue. Let me restate that. Both Florida State and Clemson believe they're worth more than $41 million in media rights revenue. They're paid annually under the current ACC contract. They're getting $41 million a year. They said we're worth more than that. Probably are, really. Certainly Florida State, I think, has a very national fan base presence. Clemson, I don't think it's to the level. I think it's Florida State's here. In my opinion, Clemson's like right here as far as a national fan base. But a lot of folks know about Clemson because of Dabo and what they've done in football, of course. The two schools may have to commit 9 figures apiece to get out of the grant of rights that has 12 years to run left. So this contract with ESPN and with the ACC runs for another 12 years. So now check this out. Florida State says to get out of this contract and go somewhere else, either the SEC or the Big Ten, probably going to take, listen to this figure, $572 million to exit the league. That's coming from Florida State. So I would think that's a pretty accurate figure. I don't think it just threw that out there in the sky. So all this is a fallout from the latest round of conferences realignment, very much so. That has concentrated money and power in the hands of the SEC and the Big Ten. And Florida State and Clemson want to get into those two leagues somehow, some way. The 34 schools in those two conferences have become an exclusive club, very much so. I think that is an understatement of statements. Florida State has until August the 15th, roughly 2 months, to notify the ACC if it intends to compete elsewhere in 2025. ESPN has a look into the ACC contract in February of next year. That pause in the contract would allow the cable giant to renegotiate or alter the deal. Well, of course, if you look up and Florida State's not in your league anymore, it's not as attractive for ESPN to go show a lot of ACC games if Florida State and maybe even Clemson's no longer there. Makes perfect sense. It's all about the moolah. So, Florida State and Clemson resemble Southeastern Conference programs in terms of interest and budgets. No question. Be perfect. In fact, now check this out. It's an interesting stat. We're live here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Using the realigned configuration for 2024, if you put them in the SEC, Florida State would have the 9th largest athletic revenue in the Southeastern Conference. They put them in right now. Clemson would be number 11. They're 1 and 2 in the ACC, which is understandable. But you think about that. Instant appeal. Florida State would have the 9th largest athletic revenue in the Southeastern Conference. You put them in right now. Clemson would be at number 11. That has merit, no question. And they know that. They know they got a product that one of these two conferences would want. SEC is a cultural fit, but the conference already is in a state with Florida. Big Ten is the largest conference at 18 members, has shown no shyness about going coast to coast. One of the few places where they don't have a team, or a footprint, as they say, is in the Southeast. So stay tuned. Florida State, Clemson, very attractive to the SEC and the Big Ten. If the SEC lets them go to the Big Ten, that's a big, big, big mistake, in my opinion. So, well, you've already got the Florida Gators. Okay. You got Tennessee and Vanderbilt in Tennessee. I mean, that makes no sense to base it on, well, you know, you've already got Florida. Okay, we've got Tennessee and Vanderbilt in the SEC here. Is there any other states that have, well, Texas A&M now. There's 2 SEC schools in the same state. Makes no sense, no merit on that one. So if Florida State can bring to the table what they can bring to the table, and they can, but it's read to you, they are instantly right now the 11th athletic revenue generating school in the Southeastern Conference. They put them in right now, Florida State. So, but to say, well, we've already got one school in the SEC from Florida, from a particular state, well, that's just stupid logic. I'm probably leaving somebody else out. I know Tennessee and Vanderbilt in our state. Texas A&M in Texas, from the state of Texas. Let's see, who else? There's only one team in Georgia. South Carolina right now has South Carolina. So I'm going up and down the league here. Missouri has just Missouri. Well, Mississippi State. There's 2 in that state, so that doesn't hold water. Alabama, Auburn. So no. Saying we've already got one team in the conference from Florida. We don't need another team. God, stupid logic. So anyway, got 2 stupids going on today. Not letting Caitlin Clark try out for the Olympic team, and now who was it said that? Let me go back and find that real quick. Who said we shouldn't let him play shouldn't let him in because we already have a team from Florida? Hang hang on, I'm going to find it. It's in this article. Hello, Carrie Reed. How you doing, lady? It's just it's just somebody wrote this article. It's not anybody I can quote. So, although the Florida Athletic Director Scott Strickland says we have a good relationship with our friends in Tallahassee, so that makes no sense to leave somebody out because there's already got a school from the same state in the conference. That is nuts. Hello, Linda Birchfield. Hello to my buddy Kerry Reed. By the way, I want to say I'm very proud of Macy Reed. She goes up and down that floor, and she gets after it. She plays so hard. She's going to be successful. It's going to click. She works hard every practice. When I watched them play over the weekend, I thought it was, again, so cool that they got to play at Thompson Bowling Arena, now the Food City Center, on the big floor. Anyway, get nothing for this other than just tell you I'm a straight shooter, nothing else. If you're around me for very long, you figured out I shoot it straight. And so I just have a lot of respect for Macy Reed. She hustles her tail off. So, and good things going to happen to those who hustle. And it will for Macy Reed. Good kid. And, she gets chewed on, and mine gets chewed on. They all get chewed on. I mean, and when he chews, he's trying to make them better players. So, I remember the first practice I ever went to, my coach said, look, leave your emotions at the door. When I coach you, and this when I coached, the 1 year I coached, this is what I told them. Got the parents and the kids together and said, look, between the lines, I'm going to chew on you if you mess up. You know why? Because I want you to be a better basketball player. It has nothing to do with you personally. Don't ever take it personal. When I jump you because you messed up on the press, didn't do this, didn't do that, whatever you did wrong, I'm doing it to make you a better basketball player because I see the potential in you. If I stop chewing on you, that's when you got to get nervous because that means I've checked out on you, which I would never do. Every kid has a potential. And then on top of that, when they did something wrong, I chewed them. When they did something good, I praised them. So never let it get to me. Poker face, keep trucking. So digest what they tell you, get better because of it, and keep going. Some of these kids and some of these other places, over the years I've watched, they take it personal, they get mad, and coach don't like me. And I think if I've ever been around a coach in all these years I've called play-by-play that I knew that he intentionally didn't like him or her. They're pushing them, trying to make them better because they see their potential. And so she has mentioned him say that. Yep. I'm not been to his I don't know what I'm talking about Coach Andrews. I'm just talking about when Tom Taylor coached, that's what I told him. I told the mamas and daddies, put them all in one meeting. I said, if your kid comes home because I chewed on him, here's why I'm chewing on him. I need to tell you right up front. Because I want them to do good. I'm here to win. Just win, baby. That's what I'm here for. And on top of that, I want them to be better basketball players. I used the analogy when I coached, the 1 year I coached. We won the championship, by the way. So I took a bunch of ragtags and we won. So I'm kind of proud of that. But I told him, I said, butterfly and cocoon. I got you here as a cocoon. When you leave, I want you to be a butterfly, being a better player. So fundamentals. So anyway, instead of rambling, but I just think a lot of Macy Reed. So just because her mama's watching, I just want to tell you, Mama, that you have a kid that's a really, really, really good kid. So, all right, the Lakers, Dan Hurley's going. He's going to let them know today. So, willing to make Hurley one of the highest-paid coaches in the NBA. His contract at UConn worth $32 million over 6 years. They said we can top it. Oh, that's over $5 million a year at UConn, which is a low figure in the NBA coaching circles. Wow. Several coaches making 8 figures a year. So he met with them, told the UConn administration going to meet with him. He told his players going to go meet with the Lakers. They want him bad. LeBron's all about it. He said, well, this guy's good. So we'll see. But he told him he'd let him know today whether he's going to take the head coaching job for the Los Angeles Lakers or not. So we'll see what Dan Early does. So if not, he's got him a job back at UConn. If he doesn't, he's going to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James and Anthony Davis are involved in picking the coach. See, I don't know about that. I don't know whether I have mixed emotions about letting the players get involved in picking the coach. So, granted, he's going to be over top of them in terms of coaching, but something just tells me when you start letting the players pick the coach, I don't know. We never get that chance. Here's your coach. Adapt. So, adjust and adapt. Every coach has a different personality. Every person has a different personality. So, anyway, it is what it is. So, I appreciate that. Thank you. You're welcome. Just shooting straight, Gary. So, got a thing up on the wall in my home that says it's hard to beat someone who just, I'm paraphrasing, it's hard to beat a player who just won't quit. There you go. I got another one she sees every day walking down the steps. Dreams don't work unless you do. So, anyway, that's what we got going on. We are live here. We'll take a quick break. We're at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Still got the cherry berry. That's what I thought. Peach milkshake starts today. There you go. Ain't nothing better on a hot day, and it's going to be up in the 80s and 90s by the end of the week here in Northeast Tennessee. Hot weather's getting ready to set in. I love it. I'll take this all day long. This winter storm watch and ice and freezing rain, all that garbage in the winter, you can have it. So hotter the better for me. It's easier for me to cool down than it is to warm up. Anyway, it's going to be a great time to come by and get a peach milkshake here on People Street in Johnson City, right down from Best Buy. Get you a big old straw, get that big chunk of peach stuck right in that straw, and you pull the straw out of there and slop it down your shirt. In my case, get it all over my beard and could care less. Whoo, doggies. Ain't nothing better. A peach milkshake from Chick-fil-A, and they start today. They're up and running. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back right after this from our good friends at Northeast Community Credit Union. We're getting ready to go in for Readers or Winners round 2. Year number 2. We've nailed it down. We're going to do it. Can't wait. Readers or Winners. We'll have that for you again for this new school year. Amy says, I'm ready for fall. We're just starting hot weather. But I understand. Not everybody likes the hot weather, but as for me in my house, man, I love it. I love the hot weather. So, anyway, quick break. Major League Baseball next. Again, the update on Evan Carter. Tough, but we're going to tell you what's going on with Evan. We'll do that right after this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Hey, this is Tom Taylor. Here in 2024, the Tom Taylor Sports Show is now on TikTok. That's right. Lots of cool things coming all year long, again, on TikTok. Be sure and like us, share it, and follow by hitting the plus button. So, a lot of neat things coming. Please get on board with us. Like, share, or follow by hitting the plus button. The Tom Taylor Sports Show, now in 2024, on TikTok.
Community Credit Union, one of our great sponsors. Christmas Club Savings Account for next year. Tell me about it.
Yes, let's talk about it because now you're going to have 12 months to do this. What better time than right now to open your Christmas Club Savings? There's no cost on this. This is just something that we can help you transfer automatic funds, either weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, out of your check. So that way you won't even have to worry about it. And each time that you have that transferred, either you can do it yourself or deposit into this account, or we can have automatic draft set up. That's just convenient for you. And like I said, it's just another sub account to your savings and checking at Northeast Community Credit Union. So if you have any questions, visit bmycu.org or come in and see us at one of our convenient locations or call 423-547-1200.
And you cut checks when? Next year? October, November? So when you get your checks?
Yes.
Save it up all year?
Yeah, so direct deposit could be your monthly paycheck.
Okay.
And so you can allocate a percentage of that paycheck into the Christmas Club. And that way when you get to October, November, it's going to be built up. And so it's a great feature, and people love it.
The Christmas Club Savings Account for Christmas 2024?
Yes.
From Northeast Community Credit Union, one of our great sponsors of
the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports.
And back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, in case you don't want to know, and you don't want to know probably, where are we for Christmas? You probably don't want to know this. We're at 197 days to Christmas Eve. So a Christmas club to start one at Northeast Community Credit Union. In fact, I'm going to do one this week. I've been putting that off. Forgot all about it, to be honest with you. Every time I watch this commercial, I'm thinking, Andrea, good reminder. We'll start a Christmas club this week myself. So come Christmas, they'll cut me a check, and my Christmas shopping money will already be in the kitty, ready to go. All right, track and field, real quick before we get to baseball. College track and field, Florida wins the NCAA Men's Outdoor Track and Field Championship. Arkansas takes the Women's NCAA Track and Field Championship. So there you go. Razorbacks ladies were first. Second was Florida. Third was Texas for the ladies. For the men, Florida wins. Auburn was second. Southern Cal was third. This is the NCAA. This is the Nationals, not just the SEC. This is the Gators says, I want snow. I guess I have woken the cold weather bears out there. Amy Whitson says, I want fall, and Gators says, I want snow. Well, we can send you to Alaska for 3 or 4 months, let you enjoy it up there. You'll cool down up there, or Iceland, or wherever you want to go, up in Canada. A little cooler up there. Going to be 80s and low 90s this week, later on this week here. I love it. Anyway, Florida wins the men's outdoor track and field championship, and Arkansas wins the ladies track and field championship. Both schools where? Let me think. Southeastern Conference. Best conference in sport, in college sports, bar none. So, with Tom, no, that's the way it is. It is what it is. All right, Major League Baseball, let's take a look at it. Today we got 3, 6, 7 games on tap. Baltimore will be at Tampa Bay, Colorado at Minnesota, the Yankees in Kansas City. Pretty good matchup there. We'll talk about that in a moment. Toronto at Milwaukee, White Sox at Seattle, Oakland at San Diego, and the Astros in San Francisco. That's today's games. Tomorrow, the Braves in a tailspin. They're struggling. They'll open up a series in Baltimore, one of the hottest teams in baseball. Braves in Baltimore starting tomorrow. The Reds tomorrow hosting Cleveland, another hot baseball team. In fact, both of those are hot. We'll talk about that in a moment. Texas will be in L.A. to battle the Dodgers. Evan Carter out a month now with a fracture in his back, so Evan Carter's out for a while. I hate that. What a great kid. And he is a kid. He's only, 21, 22 years old. So he's out. He's on the shelf for a while with a small fracture in his back, which is, it's healable. He will be back. It's not like he's out for the year, but it's going to take about 4 or 5 weeks to shut down to get it back 100%. Philadelphia plays tomorrow night in Boston to battle the Red Sox, and the Yankees, we said, at Kansas City. So Adley Rutschman yesterday, wow. 8th inning grand slam, second career grand slam for the catcher. Had a career high 6 RBIs, went 3 for 5 and a grand salami as Baltimore wins yesterday down in Tampa. So the Orioles 9-2 victory of the Rays, Tropicana Field. So heck of a game for, again, the catcher, Adley Rutschman, for the Baltimore Orioles, who again go back home to open up a series with the Braves tomorrow. All right, Yankees and Royals, first meeting in 2024 for these two teams. Led by emerging superstar Bobby Witt Jr. and Salvador Perez, the Royals are surging. Already have streaks of 7 and 8 games in a row this season. They can play. Are they for real? I guess we're going to find out when the Yankees roll into town. So, Yankees will be a good test to see how good the Royals really are. They're playing in Kansas City starting at 8 o'clock tonight. So, will Juan Soto play? Yet to be determined. They're still good without him in the lineup, but they can be even better with him. The Braves and Orioles start tomorrow. They haven't met this season. Braves took 2 out of 3 last year in Atlanta, which means nothing, of course. It's interesting. Here we are in June. We're already talking about wild card races. The Braves and Orioles each lead the wild card race in their respective league. So, Braves offense has sputtered. That's an understatement. Averaging only about 4 runs a game. So losing Ronald Acuna Jr. may have been psychologically more devastating than literally. Maybe. So what is the storyline of the series tomorrow? The Braves pitching against the Orioles hitting. O's have hit the most home runs in the Major League Baseball this season, led by Gunnar Henderson's 20, and scored the second most runs. Max Fried will be the series opener tomorrow night, followed by rookie Spencer Schwellenbach. And then Ronaldo Lopez will go in that third game on Wednesday. So Fried, Schwellenbach, and Lopez of the Braves starting tomorrow night in Baltimore. And the Orioles are the real deal. They can play. Let's see. Phillies and Red Sox starting tomorrow night at Fenway. Best team in the National League this season are the Philadelphia Phillies, coming off that split with the Mets in London over the weekend. So that'll be a good series. And then also you have the Rangers and the Dodgers. Dodgers won 2 out of 3 last year in Arlington. So, yeah, this is a good sentence. The Rangers have yet to put it all together this season after winning the World Series last year. They've not been above 500 since the middle of May. Lost 17 out of the last 26 games. So they've got injuries to Evan Carter, who again is out for another month, or about a month. Wyatt Langford, Josh Young, these guys are out. So Corey Seager's hamstring's kind of gimpy, to say the least. So the Rangers are a beat-up ball club right now. Let's take a look at the standings going into this week. In the National League, Philadelphia's won 7 out of 10. They lead the Braves by 9 now. The Braves have lost 6 out of 10. In the Central, Milwaukee, a hot team, they've won 6 out of 10, but the Reds have caught fire. They've won 8 out of 10. It's a 3-way tie for second. The Cubs have lost 6 out of 10. The Cardinals have lost 6 out of 10. So the Reds, the Cubs, and the Cardinals are all tied for second, literally. 6.5 games out now behind front-running Milwaukee. The Dodgers in the West lead San Diego by 8. Dodgers have won 6 out of 10, back home to play Texas, as we told you. And the Padres have lost 6 out of 10. In the American League, the Yankees have won 8 out of 10, even without Soto. Second place, Baltimore, they've won 3 in a row, 7 out of 10. They're only 2.5 back. Then you look at Toronto, they're only a half game out of leapfrogging over Boston for third. The Blue Jays are starting to get it together. They won 2 in a row and 6 out of 10. So who's got the best record in baseball, the Yankees or the Phillies? I'm going to say the Phillies, just on a guess. 692 to 687. Yep, 5 percentage points better are the Phillies than the Yankees for the best record in baseball. In the Central American League, Cleveland's won 2 in a row and 6 out of 10. They are 4 better than Kansas City. In the West, the Mariners lead the Rangers by 5, but don't look now, here comes Houston. Houston's only 6.5 back and a game and a half out of second place behind Texas. So the Mariners, Seattle's won 6 out of 10. Texas 5 games back, and Houston is 6.5 back. So the Astros, it's like they start, they stop. They start, they stop. They get some momentum, then they stop. But so far, they've won 6 out of 10, obviously, over the last 10 games. So interesting Major League Baseball. So the only real pennant race right now would be, I would think, the East in the American League. Yankees and Baltimore, separation only 2.5 games. Kansas City only 4 back in the Central in the American League, but they have the Yankees coming to town starting tonight, so we'll see. We're live here again. We're on the road at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on the Tom Daly Sports Show. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this from Travis and the boys from TNS Home Improvements on the Tom Daly Sports Show. The Tom Daly Sports Show and Elizabeth and Cyclone Sports. TNS Home Improvements you see on the screen. What's it all about, sir?
Well, we build decks. We do underpinning for mobile homes, vinyl underpinning, CertainTeed underpinning, K-Rock, whatever you want. Build decks, porches, whatever you want done.
How long you guys been in business?
A little over 4 years.
4 years.
Yep.
Geographically, where do you go? Where have you gone?
We try to stay within about 75 miles of the region. We've been all the way over to Virginia, up in North Carolina. Next week, we've actually got to go down to Pigeon Forge.
Awesome.
So
they're everywhere. TNS Home Improvements. So things you guys have been working on, I don't know, last 45, 50 days, what have y'all been doing?
Well, last week we built 2 covered porches, 10 by 20 covered porches. We've done about 6 underpinning jobs in the past 2 weeks, and about 10 small decks in the past 2 or 3 weeks.
Awesome. So, if you need that kind of work done, all they want to do is ask you to let them give you a quote and go from there. Phone number, how do we find you?
Phone number is 423-946-8432.
You're on social media?
On Facebook. TNS Home Improvements on Facebook.
There you go. TNS Home Improvements on Facebook. And they'll go, as you heard with the sound of our voice, probably 50, 60, 75 miles any radius of where we're sitting here in the Tri-Cities. And so there's a lot of them out there, home improvement companies. What do you feel like separates you from everybody else?
Well, for one, I feel like we're good on pricing, and everything we do for you, we do it like we're doing it for ourselves. So our greatest concern is customer satisfaction.
There you go, folks. One more time, the phone number is?
423-946-8432.
One of our great sponsors of the Tom Dillard Sports Show at Elizabeth and Cyclone Sports. I believe in these guys. Travis Constable at TNS Home Improvements. Proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Dillard Sports Show. Back on the Tom Dillard Sports Show, look who stopped by. Our buddy Jeff Birchfield, John City Press sports writer. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Hard to hear, and I've been up there at the drag races all weekend.
It was loud, wasn't it?
It is.
What was the crowds? Good crowds, I hope?
Really good crowd on Saturday. It wasn't quite as good yesterday, but of course they had to start it 2 hours early, but that turned out to be a great move, because got to race in before the rain started. So,
yep.
And as they always say in drag racing, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. That's good.
It is. You're good. So, who won the thing? Give me a review.
Well, Tony Schumacher, who's all-time winningest driver in Top Fuel, ended up winning the Top Fuel race. I used the lead on that story, called him the Babe Ruth of NHRA Top Fuel dragsters, because he's actually an 8-time world champion. And then I was talking to him earlier this week, and he was telling me how he had told his wife before they went to Epping, New Hampshire last week. He said, one of these next 2 races, we're going to win it. So I said, you're Babe Ruth. You called your shot, and stuff. So
that's awesome.
And then Austin Prock, who's been points leader, stepped into the John Force Racing car with Robert Hite right now having some health problems. He ended up winning in Funny Car. Pro Stock, you had a great matchup of 2 great champions, Jake Coughlin Jr. and Greg Anderson. Coughlin won that one. And then in Gage Herrera, who has 15 wins and 16 final rounds in Pro Stock Motorcycle, won yesterday, and the only place he had ever lost before in a final round was Bristol Dragway. So
neat story. So Friday night, was it pretty cool under the lights?
Oh, it's always really neat with flames and all that. And Clay Milliken, who always calls Bristol his home track because he's a Tennessean, but he lives out there next to Memphis, so he said even though it's 500 miles away, it's still my home track. So
that's awesome.
But anyway, he led Friday qualifying. Then they have a bonus race called the Mission Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge, and he actually won that thing as well.
So where do they go next? Where's the NHRA go?
NHRA goes to Richmond. They go up to Virginia Motorsports Park. They don't run there every year, but they're back there this year, so it should be fun for those folks.
So is Bristol still one of the marquee tracks to win at?
You know what? I've asked a lot of the drivers that, and anywhere they go, like say they go to Maple Grove, while they're there, they're going to say it's great.
Absolutely.
But I asked those guys, though, I said, in all honesty, where does Bristol rank? And not everyone to a man, it would be a crown jewel on the NHRA circuit. There's obviously Indy, the U.S. Nationals is probably their biggest race, or considered, although a lot of people say the Gator Nationals, which they opened the season with now in Gainesville, Florida, is big. And, of course, Pomona, California is where a lot of the teams and NHRA itself is located, but most of them rank Bristol either 3rd or 4th on that list, or some of them even 1 or 2, so they love the track. You've got history with Bristol, not only with NHRA, but also IHRA and AHRA.
So off the top of your head, how many different tracks they go to?
They go to like 20 different tracks, I think.
So Bristol's on the top 2 or 3 to win. So
yeah,
that's
all
awesome.
the Bruton tracks are really nice. As far as just the facilities, they love Charlotte and they love Las Vegas for that. But neither one of those tracks have the history that Bristol does.
Yep. Well put. We're talking to our buddy Jeff Birchfield. We are live here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Hello, Steve Wandell. Hello to Daddy Bill Patrick. We're here on People Street, right down the parking lot from Best Buy. This is the Chick-fil-A as our new home. The peach milkshakes are out today, and so you want to come by and get your peach milkshake. We're here until the end of August, early September, when Elizabethton reopens after the remodel. So we got racing Friday night at the Concrete Jungle. Is that right?
Yeah, returns to Kingsport Speedway, the NASCAR Weekly Series. So been some great racing there, a little bit of fighting there, a little bit of everything going on this season.
So it's been 2 weeks. You think things are going to cool down? Do you think it'll go back up? Because I know Friday's supposed to be up in the 90s. It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot. Might be a few hot tempers, but I think Jacob York and Keith Helton's going to be on their best behavior. Both of them are on probation right now. So.
Uh-oh. So they're going to watch and see. You boys better toe the line.
Yeah, not a boys have at it this weekend.
No.
For sure.
But you know what? It's rednecks and it's racing. It's short track racing. Tempers flaring. Again, it's going to be, as we said earlier in the show, today it's very nice out there, but come Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, going to be in the upper 80s, low 90s. Inside those cars, hot, isn't it?
It gets very, very hot. And, they run 2 races. Like last Friday night, the first race of the night, usually the first 40 lap features, usually pretty calm. Those guys, that second one, that's usually when the hijinks start there.
There you go.
Especially if there's full moon out. It's always crazy.
Yep. There's something to that. You're exactly right. That's why they call it the lunar. When you're a lunatic, it goes back to lunar, and guess what lunar is? The moon. So there's something to it. All right, we're live here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. So the NASCAR boys went out to California road course. Mr. Larson came off that waiver we talked about last week and got him a W. Tell me about it.
Yeah, that's no surprise. He's one of the most talented drivers on no matter what type of circuit it is. So he's definitely a good road racer, and I think he had a little fresher tires there at the end than, say, Martin Truex Jr., who ended up running out of gas on the last lap. But Larson, no shock that he would win out there, and that, he's already 26 wins in his Cup Series career. I was just looking at that paper you had, so that ties him with Dale Earnhardt Jr., all Jr. did over his entire career.
Boy can drive, can't he?
He sure can. He is the most talented driver in American motorsports. If you look at, if the cautions would have fallen right, or if he would have, he did make a little mistake there on pit road, but he'd have been in contention there for the Indy 500. I don't necessarily think he'd have won it, but I think a top 5 would have been entirely possible.
Michael McDowell, runner-up yesterday. Chris Buescher took 3rd, Chase Elliott 4th, and Ross Chastain 5th. So that's a different look up top. That Elliott, who doesn't typically do well on road courses, does he?
Oh, no, Elliott's usually one of the best drivers on road courses, right. And so is Michael McDowell. And Chris Buescher's become very well, all 5 of those guys have. And the thing about that is with Michael McDowell, with Front Row Motorsports, Chris Buescher with RFK, and Ross Chastain with Trackhouse. I think all of those drivers the last few years have elevated the respective teams that they drive for.
Denny Hamlin entered the race as the leader. The points leader went out first. Number 11 had engine trouble on lap 2. Wow, that's going to be disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little surprising. That team usually doesn't have very many mechanical failures at all.
Here's what we got right now. If you're going to run today, hello, Heather McCurry. We met Heather McCurry. Was it yesterday I met Heather? Or was that Lauren? Maybe it's Heather. I don't know. I met one of them at church yesterday. Met a McCurry. I thought I did anyway. Did I?
Who's that?
I think I met a McCurry yesterday at church. They were visiting the church. I think I did. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's brain burp. Here we go. I'm going to get your take on Caitlin Clark here in a minute. But anyway, let's run down NASCAR. Here are the guys, if you're racing today in the playoffs, these 16 would be in. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Martin Truex Jr., William Byron, Brad Keselowski, Ty Gibbs, Christopher Bell. You okay with all those?
Yeah.
All right. And Chastain's number 10. They take the 16, and you go Bowman, Alex Bowman, Ryan Blaney, Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, and Joey Logano would be your 16. On the outside looking in, Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, although he won.
Yeah, and Daniel Suarez has a win, so he's in. And we mentioned Kyle Larson has a win, so he's in. So
this is wrong.
Well, the thing on from 14 down, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, and who's 16, Joey Logano,
get bumped.
Those guys would be bumped out the way it is right now.
Yeah. So you win, you're in. And so Cindric's won, and you said Suarez has won.
And, of course, Kyle Larson has won.
Yeah, of course, he's at the top. So Bubba Wallace, although it's not up there, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't see where he was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my computer. So
Bubba Wallace would be in. It'd be Kyle Busch and Joey Logano, the first two out right now.
Busch and Logano got bumped out to this point. So, anyway, any surprise? I know I bring this up every week, and this week they're going to Iowa. We'll talk about that in a second. But any surprises right here, these guys, other than Kyle Busch?
Well, I think the fact Austin Cindric has the win, and Brian Blaney and Joey Logano, the other Penske drivers, really haven't had very many good races. Logano dominated the All-Star race, won it, but of course that doesn't count to official points. And then with Blaney, of course, he should have probably won St. Louis, but they didn't get enough fuel in the car, and sort of shows you again it is a team sport, not just one man. But you know, the 12 team didn't, so they didn't end up winning that day, and so his teammate Austin Cindric. So it's definitely Team Penske be a little surprised because RFK Racing's been a little stronger than they have this year. Stuart Haas, of course, the news they're shutting down and all that, but you'd think some of those guys, I'm not surprised Chase Briscoe's leading those four guys, but you'd think with the equipment they have, they would be a little stronger than they've shown. Of course, Richard Childress Racing's been a disappointment. Kyle Busch there, 15th in the points. Austin Dillon's been further down. Now, they did make a crew chief change recently and put Justin Alexander back with Austin Dillon, who's been his crew chief before, and that team has been, you know, elevating their performance since then.
So imagine all the preparation, all the notes, the tires, the crew, going to California, you're doing really well, and the old boy didn't put enough gas in the tank. I would come into the pits. I'm not sure I don't know what I would do, but after all you're trying to do and everything can go wrong in a race, from every little thing on that car, anything can go wrong at any time, you know that. Not to mention a wreck or a crash. And then you find out that you end up not doing well because they didn't put enough gas in the tank. So I'd be really upset.
Well, that can be the gas man's fault, but that can also sometimes be an equipment issue. You know, if those gas cans sometimes can get hung up, and also it's not always the gas man's fault, but sometimes, you know, those crews are just trying to make those pit stops too quick, and it not only happens with the gas. I mean, you see the wheels and stuff fall off and stuff too occasionally, you know, so. Yeah. And that's happened not just recently. That's been back to the early days of NASCAR. Matter of fact, one of the most successful teams in history, the Wood Brothers, David Pearson, one of the big blow-ups that broke that team apart in the late 70s is they had a tire come off of the car there, and Darrell Waltrip, who was always one of the needle people back then, he come over his radio and he started singing a version of Kenny Rogers' song like "You Took a Fine Time to Leave Me, Loose Wheel." So that was good.
That is good. You picked a fine time to leave me, loose wheel. Well, that's a dig, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a pretty good dig right there.
And they didn't appreciate it either, did they?
No, they didn't.
No.
I remember one time on a TV show a few years later, Pearson had a shirt on, had Fred Sanford on it, and said, "You big dummy." And he said, "This is for you, Darrell. You're the big dummy." You know? So those guys, they had a little heated rivalry back in the day, you could say.
Absolutely. Now, who's the big rivalry now? Who's out on the track that nobody gets along with? And so I know Stenhouse Busch got into it a couple of weeks ago. Ross Chastain, is he the bad guy?
Ross Chastain is a guy that has sort of developed the Ryan Newman reputation as being the guy, and Juan Pablo Montoya before that as being the guy just difficult to pass on the racetrack. But, you know, I guess probably one of the toughest rivalries, but these guys, they never get into actually fisticuffs or anything like that. It's been Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin. You know, they've had a few times where they've run into each other last couple of years.
So you've been in some of these some of these drivers meetings. So when they get in there, do they kind of, hey, how's it going? Or does he stay over here and he stays over here? Just kind of keep your distance? How does that work?
I think it depends on how heated it's been, and if the guys are friends, you know, before, you know, usually they patch things up. Sometimes, though, it is a case of I forgive, but I don't forget, you know, and, you know, there may be payback coming down the road, and 6 months from now, a year from now, or whatever. So, that happens as well.
As you can see, we're talking to Jeff Birchfield, sports writer, John City Press. We're live here again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on this Monday, June the 10th. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Low 70s, not much humidity. It's going to all change. Again, we'll get into 80, upper 80s, and low 90s by the weekend. The good old East Tennessee humidity coming back. So if you want to see some good racing Friday night, they're going to be beating and banging the concrete jungle. What time's the start of there Friday night?
Usually gates open around 5 o'clock, and they'll have practice and then qualifying after that. And usually the racing starts right around 8 o'clock. So it's, good. Gives you time to get off work if you do want to go grab you something quick to eat. And then the good thing like going to a race at Kingsport is, say, opposed to Bristol, Bristol you have one big race most of the time, or, in the case of the trucks and ARCA, you'll have two. But Kingsport, you got like 7 divisions racing, and a couple of them will always have twin features. So, if you want to just stay and watch, halfway through the night, you still get to see plenty of racing. You're almost guaranteed to see at least one good race, with that many. You're going to have a good close finish there at the end.
We're back here on Wednesday. Tomorrow will be a Double C Western Supply. It's Father's Day weekend. Big sale going on at Double C, the Cowboy Store and more. Then on Thursday will be at Cannon's Furniture. They, too, are having a Father's Day sale. Got those recliners on sale and got some other things we'll tell you about on Thursday. Will be at Cannon's, Fine Home Furnishings. And Friday, yet another place pushing Father's Day, the Jeweler's Bench. So they got watches and they got all kinds of goodies for Dad for Father's Day on sales. We'll be there on Friday. We'll park Food City for this week, and we'll go to the Jeweler's Bench and talk Father's Day weekend. It's going to be a big weekend for cowboy clothes tomorrow, Western boots and hats and hooey hats and all that at Double C. Thursday, Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings, and Friday we'll be at the Jeweler's Bench. And back here on Wednesday, the Tom Taylor Sports Show, it's still hopping. They're still coming, aren't they?
They are. I see a little baseball player there, I guess. A lot of fans around here celebrating where the Vols advanced to the College World Series.
Yeah, they thrashed Evansville. 7 home runs, team record. They put on a show. And so they're the team to beat heading to Omaha, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty neat. It's going to be Omaha's going to basically be a SEC, ACC challenge, looks like. So, a lot of teams, in our sort of region. So that's, great to see.
Yep. You got one to be decided tonight, Georgia, North Carolina State. Everybody else is either SEC, and of course those will be two, SEC or ACC. So Georgia and NC State play that last super regional tonight to decide it. And then everybody heads to Omaha for the College World Series double elimination. Tennessee will be the front runner. All right, Caitlin Clark. Here we go. I want to get your take. I had Bill Robinson on early, got his take. She was snubbed. They're not going to put her on the Olympic team. And so they had a tryout. She didn't make it. She didn't make it because she was in the Final Four with Iowa playing for the college women's basketball national championship weekend. So they said, you didn't make it for the tryout for the team, you can't go. They're leaving Caitlin Clark off the Olympic team. What do you think?
Well, I mean, she is probably the most popular, or not probably, she is the most popular player in women's basketball right now. And I guess as far as fairness, I guess none of the other, though, women's college players are actually on the team either, then I assume if Caitlin Clark's not, right?
I think so.
So, I mean, if that's the case, I guess one part of it, fair's fair, but on the other hand, there seems like always a controversy around her because she is the most popular player, and there does seem to be quite a bit of jealousy surrounding her right now.
There you go. There's the key. We got jealousy going on. So, reminds me of Christian Laettner making the dream team. Yep. It's a good point, Jimmy Stout.
I didn't like Christian Laettner. I'm a Carolina fan. So.
Well, I am too, but he is an incredible good player.
He was a terrific college player. There's no denying that.
So, as I said, you weren't here when I went on whatever, not a tirade because it is what it is, but earlier in the show, in my travels yesterday, first to church and to the local restaurant after church, people said, hey, Tom, they came up to me and said, what do you think about your announcing guy? What do you think about Caitlin Clark? I said, well, I don't know. What do you think? Said, we're not going to watch it. She's not on the team. We could care less. So I'm thinking, the Olympic people, you are stupid and dumb. I'd put her on that team. First, I give her a special tryout. She's the all-time leading scorer. She missed it because she was playing in the Final Four. It wasn't like she's on vacation, on a cruise. She was playing for the national championship. Give her a shot. Put her on the team because your viewership, all these other girls, they don't get it. I don't understand why they don't get this. But if and I used this example earlier when Bill was here. I said, okay, Shaquille O'Neal's kid is now playing at somewhere in the AAC, the Milligan Basketball Conference. Do you not think I know what you're getting ready to say, yes. There'll be a lot of people watching our conference that normally wouldn't because Shaq's kid, hypothetically is on one of the teams. Okay. So, look what Junior does in races in Bristol. Everybody wants us at the Xfinity race because he's in the race.
Well, I think it's silly. My favorite NBA team is the Charlotte Hornets since they're, the closest team to us and all that. And they have usually a terrible team, not selling tickets. I'm like, why in the world do they not sign Mac McClung? I mean, he would sell tickets down there for sure,
That's a great point.
And, I know I guess with Mac, he's obviously a great player. He's two-time slam dunk champion. You see what he's done in the G League and all. And you think about with Ball and McClung there in the backcourt, what an exciting backcourt that would be for the Hornets.
Yep. And it would sell tickets.
Yeah, it's definitely sell tickets, which I thought part of the goal is to try to make a little money.
There you go. So I put Caitlin Clark on the team. If she never gets off the bench, I'm going to watch just in case she does get to play. If I know she's not on the team, there's not a snowball's chance I'm going to watch. And the last time I checked, I don't think women's Olympic basketball TV viewership is through the ceiling, do you think?
No, and a good point on that. My dad never watched women's basketball, period, pretty much. He might catch an occasional Lady Vols game before that, but, he was all in watching the NCAA tournament and watching Caitlin Clark because she is such an exciting player.
Yep. And, oh, by the way, say what you want, she's averaging 16 points a game already, and I think they've played maybe 10, 15, 20 games. I don't know how many they play. See if it's in right here. Here it is, WNBA, the
Indiana Fever. They're 3-9, so they've played 12 games.
12, 13 games. She's averaging 16 points a game and 5 rebounds a game. Not bad for a rookie, but you're the all-time leading scorer in the history of basketball. You've earned a shot at least to get a tryout. Well, it was on the wrong weekend, so here we go. I'm going to use you as an example. You have all right, you get a chance to write for USA Today. Jeff, you come in an interview for USA Today to get to be a sports writer, but you got to be there tomorrow. You got to be in, Dallas, Texas tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. If you don't make it, sorry. Okay. Same thing. Then we're going to have a tryout, but if you can't be here, I'm sorry. You're working in the Final Four. Jeff, you're covering the Drags this weekend in Bristol. You can't. I'm sorry. I know it's a goofy analogy, but it's not. It's crazy, and so it comes down to me. It's just professional jealousy. That's what I think it is. So, but I don't get it. I would think you would want her on that team because everybody's going to watch you play. The Diana Taurasi's and all these other girls are all of a sudden going to get viewership that you normally would not get because Caitlin Clark's sitting on the bench. Now, if you don't have her on the team, I'm not going to watch it. I don't know if you are. There's no way I'd watch. I could care less. That's just me because I just stub up and ain't going to watch it. But anyway, it is what it is. So you think she ought to get a shot? Tryout.
She should get a tryout, I think. Her, and not only Caitlin, but some of the other top college players.
Yeah.
If that's the case that didn't get a tryout as well, they should be able to play, as also on that team.
I'm assuming anybody who's in the Final Four weekend for women's basketball, none of them got a chance to try out because they're all playing.
Yeah, because you had the real good player from South Carolina. She should probably get to play as well. Cordero, the big, tall girl there.
She was the Final Four. South Carolina, Iowa.
Was it LSU again?
No, they got beat. South Carolina, Iowa. I just went blank. South Carolina, Iowa, UConn, and who was the Cinderella team? NC State?
Yeah, NC State. You're correct.
So anybody, I'm assuming anybody on those 4 teams did not get a chance to try out because of the Final Four. They were working. They weren't on a cruise. So maybe we need to have a special tryout for everybody who was in the Final Four that getting, not just Caitlin, anybody else. And I don't know all the particulars. I may be totally wrong, but all I know is she didn't get a chance to try out, and that's a joke. So
maybe a tryout a few days after the Final Four. That'd be what they call that common sense.
Now you're bringing logic into it. I tell my girls all the time, they say something like, girls, you're bringing in logic. Because logic normally doesn't work in our society anymore. So, unfortunately. But anyway, what's up next for you?
Well, everybody says, I bet you ain't got nothing to do now at the high school and college seasons are over, but I've got all kinds of stories this week. Of course, I try to leave the Appalachian League stuff available for the younger guys that, because that way they don't really have to go out and hunt. But I like having the variety. This week I'm supposed to do a weightlifting story. I've got interviews with ETSU's women's coach, Brenda Mock Brown, and supposed to talk to Trey Lamb, the football coach, tomorrow. Got Dane Davis football camp on Saturday. Going to do the rodeo on Saturday up in Elizabethton. So Kingsport Speedway, other racing notes. So got a nice little variety of things this week.
You need to go buy a double C and get your cowboy hat. Go up here for the rodeo on Saturday.
Yeehaw, maybe.
Yeah, get you a big old 10-gallon hat and get you some boots and spurs and get up there and cover the rodeo this weekend. So
got to make sure where you step there.
You what?
I said I might need some boots, but got to make sure where I step.
Oh, you'll step in some doo-doo up there, absolutely. Them animals do it. They don't care. So you just got to dodge the piles. But see, when I was a kid, we used those as bases out in the cow pasture.
Hey, I got a crazy story with the cow pile. As we were going sledding this one winter down the hill there at my friend's house as a neighbor, and we had built this little ramp and all this, and we come off of that sled and it threw us both off, and I hit my head on a pile of frozen cow manure. It was like a rock. I mean, it about knocked me out. I mean, it knocked me silly for sure a little while there.
At Granddad's, we played wiffle ball out in the cow pasture, and we used cow patties and dried ones as bases. Played barefooted, never thought anything about it. Just round first, step on that big old cow poop, kept trucking. Just being kids.
Yeah.
Never thought anything about it. So we needed bases. We just used them as bases, and here we go. So we improvised. What'd you say?
That's a
Oh, me, oh, my. It's good stuff. So anyway, we're here live. I was going to ask you one more thing. What were we talking about? We went on a rabbit trail.
Yeah, we're talking different sports there. I mean, I got to cover MMA. We got boxing coming up here in a couple of weeks. So
the new kid, what's the new writer's name?
Dylan Young.
I think he's the one who wrote a really good article on Riley Whitson last week. We appreciate that. I think it was him.
Yeah, Dylan's really experienced. I mean, he's here in Johnson City, but he's been down in Morristown and that area. So, yeah, he's a good young writer for sure.
Did a really good story on her, so I thought it was really good. So, and they're all good. JD, I got my boy Andrew, who comes in here every week.
Yeah, Andrew Smith. He's done a really nice
job.
Sharp
kid.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I'd be remiss. I mean, I didn't cover it, but those guys all did a nice job with the Virginia playoffs. And congratulations to the Rye Cove softball team beating Eastside, who's another semi-local team, and Coburn for, the state championship.
The Rye Cove Lady War Eagles are state champs. Yep. So very good. Are you hungry, sir?
Yes, sir. I always enjoy Chick-fil-A.
You might want to get over there and waller in there right now and get in there and wait your turn, get yourself something good to eat. So I'll see you next week whenever I can get you back in there. He's a busy man. Yeah, I get the same thing. Well, ain't no ball games right now. You probably ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, we do cover, though, quite a bit of Appalachian League stuff as well, because we try to keep up with, Doughboys and River Riders and Axemen. So, we do that as well. And like I said, there's all kinds of sports. Good time to catch up. Like I had somebody complaining we hadn't done a story on a couple of ETSU weightlifters, and I said, well, the summertime's when we try to catch up on some of that, because it's almost impossible in May there with all the high school and college playoffs going on.
Absolutely. So anyway, they say it's downtime, slow time. Not really. I mean, it's almost year-round now, so we're 74 days away from high school football kickoff.
Well, when you think about that, high school media days usually start around July 20th, so that's just a little bit over a month away now.
There you go. Enjoy your Chick-fil-A, sir. I'll talk soon. Appreciate you coming by. Quick break. We'll be right back after this from Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings, where we'll be on Thursday on the Tom Daly Sports Show.
You've been at it for 42 years. A lot of different brands that you carry here. Tell us about that.
Oh, we carry all the major brands in furniture and bedding. Some of the furniture brands like Ashley, Barker Lounger. Barker Lounger is a very comfortable group. They make great recliners. Bassett been around for over 100 years. It's great. It's actually Bassett is still family owned. The Bassett still own the company, which is unusual in today's world. Carry England. England's actually a Tennessee. The factory is in Tennessee that makes their products, so it's a Tennessee-made product. So a lot of special orders with that. Green Gables makes a really neat, rustic-looking furniture. Great looks, great product. Legacy Classic is a great furniture company we deal with. Magnusum is a company that we've dealt with for probably 20 years. In bedding, we carry Sealy, all the top brands, Serta, Simmons, Beautyrest. Tempur-Pedic is our premium line. If you ever sleep on a Tempur-Pedic, you probably never go back to anything else. It's really a great product. Also carry the Traeger pellet line, or the Traeger grill line. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of enjoyment. We all have Traeger grills. We all share recipes, and it's a great product to cook on. Vaughn Bassett is another company. It's still a family-owned company, very large company. They're out of Galax, Virginia, so it's almost a local company. So that's our top brands right there.
42 years, downtown Elizabethton, Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings. The hours are open. Again, you've told us your normal hours, Monday through Saturday, or what?
Monday through Fridays, 10 to 6. On Saturday, 9 to 5. Social
media, how do we find you?
Facebook is a prominent thing we do each week. We do an ad. It just on Wednesday, have tons of people look to that ad. The website, cannonshomestore.com, has a full catalog, over 1 million products on that website.
And the obvious, the phone number.
Phone number, 423-543-6937.
One of our great sponsors of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Love coming here and promoting this product. Be loyal, buy local, buy in Elizabethton at Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings.
Hi, my name is Brian, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A mac and cheese is you can taste the different types of cheeses and the blends that they use, and everything just comes together. It's like a delicate dance. They're like perfection in every bite.
And back at the Tom Douglas Sports Show, before we get out of here again, big thanks to our guest today, Bill Robinson, head coach of the Milligan men's basketball team, and, of course, just now, Jeff Birchfield, sports writer, John City Press. Thank you to both those guys coming by. Give me the verse today, and we're going to run down the Major League Baseball one more time. College baseball. Psalms 130, verse 5 says, I wait for the Lord, my soul waits, and in his word I put my hope. There you go. That's the verse today here on the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Let's run down again, as we said, the college baseball. Here's who's in out of the Southeastern Conference. Tennessee, the number 1 seed going in to Omaha this week, starts on Friday, double elimination. The Florida Gators, Texas A&M, Kentucky, first time ever going to the big show. College World Series in Omaha. And Georgia and North Carolina State play tonight to determine who wins the Athens Regional. From the ACC, got North Carolina, Florida State, and the Virginia Cavaliers. So, yeah, from the SEC, 8 total teams going. You've got 4 and 3 right now. 4 from the SEC, 3 from the ACC. And depending upon who wins the Georgia-NC State game, obviously, will tip the scales to find out who's going to be the most represented conference, the SEC or the ACC. Right now, it's 4-3. SEC, it's either going to be 5-3 or 4-4. So, depending on whether Georgia wins tonight or North Carolina State in that third and final game to decide it in Athens, Georgia. So, pretty cool stuff. Again, Tennessee homered 7 times in the first 5 innings yesterday. Went on to win 12-1 over Evansville. And so it was a school record, 7 home runs in 1 game. Tennessee and Florida there for the 2nd straight year. Texas A&M for the 2nd time in 3 years. Kentucky's going for the first time ever. So the SEC, we told you earlier in the show, Florida wins the men's track and field championship, the NCAA track and field championship. Florida wins it. And Arkansas's ladies win the NCAA women's track and field championship. So tell me that the SEC is not the most powerful and dominant conference in sports, in college sports anyway. I'm going to tell you you're smoking something, because they are. So they're in the thick of everything. Softball, they were there. Now, credit Oklahoma and Texas played for the national championship, but Florida was right there. So I'm a big fan of the SEC, needless to say, and with good reason. And you look at the fact that Florida State and Clemson are lobbying to get into the SEC with good reason. So the power brokering continues between the SEC and the Big Ten in football. But in this case, the College World Series, the Southeastern Conference and the ACC. It's a Southern thing. There you go. And they play baseball in Texas and California and in the Northeast. They play it all over the country. Interestingly, the 8 teams going to Omaha for the national championship are all Southern teams. Tennessee, Florida, well, Texas A&M, I'll strike that. But they're in the SEC. Tennessee, Florida, geographically, Kentucky, either Georgia or North Carolina State. North Carolina, Florida State, and Virginia. Southern thing. Man, they are in here. They just keep on coming. Goodness. We're going to take our final break, come right back after this. We are live here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. How about the young lady who got named the best antique store in the Tri-Cities thanks to the voting from WJHL.com.
We have an all-orange window, everything you can think of, vases, books, glasses, plaques, trophies, stuffed animals, flags, you name it, everything Tennessee orange.
It's there in the window, called a Vols window, and the obvious, a lot of fall stuff coming in. Tell me about it.
Lots of fall stuff, lots of fabric pumpkins, ceramic pumpkins. We got fall flags, we've got fall tea towels, fall tablecloths and linens. We've got some skeletons and mummies and ghosts, a little bit of everything.
So tell folks about the Eagle Center. Tell us where it's at and what it's all about.
Eagle Center is downtown Elizabethton, and we're open on Monday through Saturday from 10 to 5. We have antiques, of course, home decor, collectibles, books, lamps, handmade jewelry. We have art. We have just a little bit of everything to decorate your home, have parties, whatever your needs are, we have them.
Social media?
We have social media on Facebook, the Eagle Center Facebook page, and of course we have great advertisement with the Tom Taylor Show.
Thank you very much. One of our great sponsors, Cyclone Football, the Tom Bailey Sports Show, the Eagle Center in downtown Elizabethton. And back on the Tom Bailey Sports Show, before we get out of here, let's tell you about the Appalachian League. They're off tonight. Everybody's down, gets a night off. Then you come back tomorrow. You've got baseball in the Tri-Cities, Kingsport hosting Pulaski, Johnson City hosting Bluefield, and Elizabethton will be home to Burlington tomorrow. Bristol travels to Danville, and Greenville goes to Tri-State. So that's your Appalachian League schedule tomorrow. Again, they're off for today. Baseball, let's run them down one more time. Orioles tonight in Tampa Bay. They are red, smoking hot. Orioles have won 3 in a row and 7 out of 10. Colorado and Minnesota. Kansas City hosting the Yankees tonight. Good matchup there. Yankees, second best team in baseball. They've won 8 out of 10. They trail only the Phillies for the best record in baseball. Toronto and Milwaukee tonight. Chicago. Is Toronto doing anything right now? Yep, they've won 2 in a row and 6 out of 10. So they may give Milwaukee a little run tonight. The Brewers, let's see where they are in the old Major League Baseball standings. Brewers won 6 out of 10. Toronto's won 6 out of 10. So that's going to be a good series starting tonight in Milwaukee. White Sox at Seattle, Oakland at San Diego, and Houston quietly starting to put it together. They've won 6 out of 10 in the American League West. They'll open up a series tonight in San Francisco against the slumping Giants. Tomorrow, Atlanta, Baltimore. Mike Street will be on the mound for the Braves tomorrow night in Baltimore. Cleveland tomorrow night opening up a series in Cincinnati against the Reds. 2 hot teams there. Cleveland's won 2 in a row, 6 out of 10. The Reds have won 8 out of 10, so good matchup tomorrow night
in Cincinnati. The Rangers, without Evan Carter, is on the shelf for another 4 to 5 weeks, will be in L.A. to battle the Dodgers. Also tomorrow night, Philadelphia, the best team in baseball, in Fenway to battle the Red Sox, opening up a series there. And as we told you, the Yankees in Kansas City start tonight in Kansas City. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. We thank you for being with us. Be sure to like and share the show, and you do. Tomorrow we'll be on the road to Double C Western Supply, the Cowboy store, coming up tomorrow. And so Wednesday right back here. We're here now twice a week through the end of August. Let's give you the verse today. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. Unashamedly, we do that. So we don't make any apologies for that, and here it is. Psalms 130, verse 5. I wait for the Lord, my soul waits, and in his word I put my hope. If you get a chance, go back to the Pleasant Beach Baptist Church Facebook page and watch yesterday morning's sermon on John 3:16. Clears it out. Makes it abundantly simple and abundantly clear what this is all about. The only decision you and I have to make, and we all have to make it, and by not making it, we're making it. What are you going to do with the Lord? That's the only decision we have to make. That's going to matter anything. Where you work, sure. Who you marry, sure. Where you live, all that, yes. But the only one for eternity will be what are you going to do with the Lord? And that sermon yesterday morning, John 3:16 was the sermon, what it was on, rather. And Pastor Mark Fowler knocked it completely out of the ballpark. Goodness, what a great message. Check it out on the Pleasant Beach Baptist Church Facebook page. Don't forget Brummett Sports Shop, downtown Elizabethton. You need medals. You need jerseys, ball caps, football pants, baseball pants, whatever you need. You need awards. You need baseball, softballs, footballs, scorebooks, ball caps, whatever you need, backpacks, duffel bags. They got it all for you at Brummett Sports Shop. They do medals, plaques, ribbons, medals. All the engraving is in-house. They don't ship it out and hope they get it back in 3 weeks, whatever they do. Everything in-house at Brummett Sports Shop in downtown Elizabethton, right there on the on Elk Avenue, rather. So I wanted you to know that. And they do a wonderful job, and David, appreciate him so very, very much. David Lyons and the folks at Brummett Sports Shop, Julie and Ashley and all of them, they do a great job. So if you need, go to the Facebook page, Brummett Sports Shop. If you need anything at all as far as clothing, T-shirts, ball caps, baseball jerseys, football jerseys, as we said, visors, koozies. So I got this koozie I want to show you. I think I got it right here. Oh, let me show you that before we get out of here because I just had it. Yeah, here it is. You can put your favorite school in a koozie. Check it out. This happens to be Tuffy, the Cyclones. You put anything on there. Is that cool? That is really cool. They make those. It's insulated. Put your favorite 12-ounce, in my case, Diet Dew, or I'm on to A&W sugar-free root beer now. Whew. No sugar-added root beer. Love it. Anyway, Brummett Sports Shop, downtown Elizabeth, and they're on Elk Avenue. They do a great job. Chick-fil-A rocking it. Again, peach milkshakes are on the menu board starting today. Boom. Love it. Back here on Wednesday. Which one do we come to now? We come to the one till Elizabethton reopens at the end of August, early September. We're coming now to People Street, right down the parking lot from Best Buy. Boom. As Cy Robertson says, Bolio. Bolio. What he said? Bolio. Not what he said. Loved it. Duck Dynasty. All right, out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Wrapping up show number 2088. We're on our way to 2100, folks. That's our next little miniature milestone. Guess the next big one, I think Emmy said, and Carrie said we're going to do something at the 2500 mark. So we got a while to get to that one, but we're flirting with 2100 now. We're 12 out from hitting the 2100 mark. So thank you for being with us. Rejoining you tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Double C Western Supply in Elizabethton, the Cowboy Store and more. They got a big Father's Day sale coming up. Don't forget, Dad's Day is this Sunday. Father's Day 2024 coming up this Sunday. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. Be sure and like it and share it. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Double C Western Supply. We'll close it by always telling you, bloom where you're planted, And win or lose, for heaven's sakes, be a good sport because the kids are watching you. They emulate what you do. See you tomorrow.